Empire YGO, and today, who do we have today?
Andrew Williams.
Andrew Williams, and what did you play yesterday?
I played Diabell Star, Snake Eye, Volcanic, Fire King, FTK.
Mouthful landing. Okay. All right, let's start off with the list.
Yeah, so starting off with the Volcanic monsters, we played three copies of Trooper, which is our main starter card. Searches for any Volcanic on summon and gives your opponent a token, which is really important for the FTK itself. Then we're playing 2 Emperor. This is the main power card of Volcanic. It can summon itself by banishing 3 Pyros or a Blaze Accelerator card. And then on summon it burns for 500 for every banished Pyro, and then it also taxes them on special summoning. So normally we want to end on one of these, burning them for around 2,000. And if we can't FTK them, you want to summon 2 of them, so they're taxed for 1,000 per special. And then against a lot of the dumb control decks, or stuff like Flu or like the Paleo decks, your win condition is just summoning this over and over again to burn them out of the game. We play 3 copies of Volcanic Shell, which can pay 5 to add a copy of itself. It's a soft once per turn, so this allows you to, you have a lot of discard effects in this deck, so it allows you to filter and actually use all of your powerful effects. 2 Rimfire is a level 1 fire, which is obviously really good in this point in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can, when it's in the graveyard, you can either banish it to mill a Volcanic, or you can banish a Blaze Accelerator to place one from your deck. Both of these effects are once per turn, so you can do both. So this allows you to break boards, and we use it both in our combo, and it gives us a banished Pyro for our Emperor. And then for the Snake Eye monsters, we're playing 3 Diabell Star, then we're only playing 1 each of Ash, Poplar, and Oak, and Flamberge. You really don't want to play more of these. Our best normal summon in our entire deck is Trooper. You never want to normal summon Ash at all. I don't think these cards really need much explanation. They're everywhere. Then we're playing, for the Horus monsters, we're playing 3 Umseti and Happy. These are really great extenders, as King Stark allows us to have a free unlimited discard outlet, and everyone's playing Fire, so the Zombie Vampire is like an insane starter or extender. And then for the Fire King monsters, we're playing Onyx, Garunix, Kieran, and Little Kieran. Some decks play Arvada, but I think that card is not very good because it's just a brick. I studied it out every game. These are known, when this card's destroyed by a card effect, you can send any fire monster from deck to grave. So you really don't use this Kieran a lot. When you go for Island, you do this into this, and this sends any of your good Volcanics or any other good fires from deck to grave. So this allows us to bridge all of our engines together. Okay. Then we play 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. This is a good extender. It allows us to make Infernal Flame Banshee, which just searches for any Pyro. Then we play 2 Magician Souls. We have a ton of spells and traps that do stuff in grave or get value from grave. And this can send any spellcaster from deck to grave, so we can send Diabell Star and then Selene back. Or we can even send Mseti if we need to. Okay. And then this is the FTK monster. It's an inherent summon from deck by tributing a level 4 lower fire and a spellcaster. On summon, it burns your opponent for the attack of a monster on their field, and it searches for, I'll go ahead and show this, which reads a fire to burn equal to the attack. So these are super important for our FTK. This being inherent is really, really wacky. And this allows us to close out games really well. Even going second against slower matchups, I think you can go for this and then burn them for 25 with Emperor. And then you set this trap if you link this off, and you get to really win games that you probably shouldn't. And then I'm playing 1 Nemesis Flag and 1 Escados. This engine was insane. You can search this card with Infernal Flame Banshee, and Escados, for people who don't know what this card does, it's like Protos, which was recently unbanned, but for types. So when you're breaking a board, you can do this on whatever type they have. Maybe they're playing Labyrinth and you call Fiend, or I call this Machine against Rescue Ace. But this is also obviously a Pyro. Your entire deck's Pyro, so you can just summon this down, call Pyro, and they can't summon any of their Snake Eyes monsters. It's also a dragon, so you can do this and call Flamberge. and also can be by card effects, which is really good when you're trying to like play into a fireboard, and they have princess and shit. So that's all for the monsters. I don't know how many of them there are. They're all important. I won't change any of them. For the spells, we're playing 3 Volcanic Blaze and the 1 engine requirement. To activate this, you have to send this from deck to grave. And then it's a soft once per turn, popped by milling a level 1 pyro, and it special summons 1 from your hand. So this is a soft once, so you can use Rimfire to place. You can banish this to then place another one. And this card's like this is why I think this deck is so well positioned, is because you get a board breaker in engine that is also a starter card. Like even if you just Volcanic Blaze, mill the level 1 pyro, which then banishes itself to send this, you can then banish this from grave to summon this, and you at least like clear 2 to 3 monsters without actually like using a normal summon. And we play 3 bonfire, our entire deck is pyro. I think this is the best deck that bonfire's in. 3 wanted, 1 OSS, 1 temple, standard engines. These are also standard. 1 Kingsark. This card feels really good, but every time that the fire ends on IP, they just SP this as soon as you put your guys in grave, and it's really terrible. So I think 1 of it's fine.
Okay.
3 fire recovery is a not once per turn discard to reborn a fire, and then you can banish it to shuffle cards back from banish or grave. This allows you to reuse a lot of your important one-ofs. It's a discard outlet, which is strangely really important for this deck because you have a lot of cards that do stuff in grave. And it's easy to side out as well. When you're playing a deck with 60 cards, since all the engines go together, I didn't really want to play like hand traps and stuff because the chance that you draw them is super low, but you can mill this card, you can discard this card to like a Kingsark, and it doesn't like suck. And then for the board breakers, we're playing talents. Every card in our deck is good to draw, so this card is fantastic. Droplet is crazy in this deck. We have grave effects. We don't really care about discarding cards at all. We can crack a board by stuff and then just OTK them. Then we play 1 for 1 because we have crazy level 1 monsters. And then a mission. This is a trap that you set off of Emperor when you burn him for a bunch on his summon. And you can either summon 1 from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, or burn equal to half the attack. So on our combo, we burn our opponent for 2k. Assuming they don't have a monster, we burn them for 2k, and this gets set from that. And then the Inari Fire gives you this, and then this combined is 4650 or 4650 damage. So basically, you just wait for them to like special summon once or twice, or do something else, and then they basically like can't play the game because you'll kill them. Even if you don't FTK them, you still like put up a board that a lot of decks that have to special summon can't play through.
Okay.
That's 60. I think the list is perfect. I wouldn't change anything. Just God Gamer stuff, I guess. And then for the extra deck, we're playing Link Rebo. This card's banned. 1 Anima, super important for the FTK because the Inari Fire has to tribute a spellcaster. So you can like, this is a spellcaster, so I really use this going first. People looked at me like I was fucking nuts, but it's super important to have a level 1 spellcaster. And then Almirage, since we're playing Parallel Exceed, Trooper is the only monster that if we normal summon and it gets interrupted, we can't do anything. So you just do this. Then Link 2's Charmers, standard for fire ducks. Phoenix, also standard SP, and that's it. I don't play IP. We're not trying to make a board. We're just trying to kill our opponent. And we don't want to ever end on Flamberge, so I don't think the card is very good in this deck. Then we play Princess, cards nuts. Celine, cards nuts. And then Appa, we end on this like every other deck, I guess. Raging Phoenix and Zelantis, easy OTKs. And then we play Zombie Vampire since we play horse cards. And then for the Parallel, we play this, which is it's like a Rhoda or a Foolish Barrel, and then when it's banished, you also can summon it back. So you can banish this off of Emperor, and then it gives you a free body. I also play Baguska. I never summoned this card a single time. I wanted to card my deck if I drew Parallel Exceed against some deck like Cash or Flu or whatever. If I got Shifted, I could skip their turn. And then for the side deck, Bestials. These cards are good to draw going first or second. That's kind of the idea for hand traps in this deck because when you're playing 60, the chances that you draw them are very good. But it's stuff against branded. I cited all these cards and all the time. Kurikara searchable, so I think it's fine to play as a one of board breaker, searchable board breaker. Cosmic is crazy in this form. I don't want to get stunned out or whatever, or glued out, I guess. And so I also would side in these, and I also side in evenly all the time. This card gets a lot better next format because there's no omnis anymore. But every time I'd side out a lot of my greedy FTK cards and the Arch Nemesis cards, and just put all these in. And obviously it worked really well because I topped. And then the only going first card I play is 3 Gravedigger's Trap Hole. Shout out to Pierce because these are foreign and very cool. When your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or graveyard, you can flip this, negate the effect, and burn them for 2K. So I wanted a card I could take out of my main deck going first to take out Droplet. And this card, if I would assume that if I FTK my opponent, they're gonna put in a ton of hand traps, so just so they don't die. So this card allows you to burn your opponent for 2K, and at least it's an interruption, and it also closes the life threshold a lot. Because people can oh, well, I know he can only do X amount of damage, so I get 2 summons, so I'm gonna play my summons right. And then you can do this, flip this, cripple them basically so they can't summon anymore, and then you kind of FTK them anyway. So that's the side deck. 15 cards, again, absolutely perfect, nothing I would change.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to the Empire, Empire shit. Shout out to Pierce, Noman, and Daniel for playtesting with me and talking theory. And shout out to, I gotta shout out Above Average, YGO, and Jacopac Knapsack or whatever on Dueling Book. They're the only other Volcanic players on the internet that I can talk to about this deck. And shout out to my girlfriend Mara for being really cool.
Gotta shout out the girlfriend.
Of course. And yeah, that's it.
All right.